Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being present for the speech. And I also want to thank Professor Brogdon for allowing me this opportunity to present my informative speech about true love. But I want to start off by telling a true story about my childhood growing up. As a young girl growing up, I was raised by my grandparents, and I used to sit and watch them show love. They showed love to their children, to their grandchildren, and to their entire family as a whole. But what really stood out to me was how they showed love to one another. In my young mind, I always imagined meeting someone like my grandfather because he really showed how much he loved my grandmother. I saw my grandparents' relationship as a romantic novel that I wanted to be in someday. So I finally met someone that I was interested in. And two questions went through my mind. What does true love look and feel like? And how will I know that I have it? So I want you to imagine in your mind, what does true love look and feel like? Some people believe true love exists because of the importance of the emotional and unconditional characteristics that it shows. If you think about it, this kind of need is created long before we are born, starting with the mother talking to her unborn baby and creating a bonding relationship. As we grow into teenagers and then adults, we want to someday be in a relationship with someone that will show affection and love. Love is a beautiful thing. And as human beings, this is part of our nature to love or to be loved. About 9 in 10 Americans, 88%, cited love as a very important reason to get married, ahead of making a lifelong commitment, which is 81%, and companionship, 76%. As a result, love is perceived as sacred, meaning worthy, which leads to a need to feel loved. People today want to feel emotional connected and valued in a loving relationship and a lifetime commitment. Dr. Flores says someone in love will care about your feelings and your well-being. And Co Yanadi says to fall in love and to commit yourself to love means you should make your loved one the one thing you cherish. What is true love? And how will you know you have it? I gave a questionnaire survey to 75 people, and my research uncovered three of many characteristics of what true love is and how you know you have it. First is patience, the ability to endure any difficult situation. Second is selfless, the opposite of selfish. Last but not least is honesty, the moral characteristic that involves trustworthy. Let's begin with the first characteristic, patience, the ability to endure any situation without becoming annoyed or angry. True love comes from the heart. For an example, if you find yourself constantly doing something to make your mate angry, and each time they do not get upset, instead they are calm and want to know what they can do to make things better, then you know that this is true love with patience. True love puts ego behind them and only think about your well-being and what makes you happy. Unconditional love communicates true love. I don't want anything in return. I love you for who you are. Unconditional love has no conditions. It keeps its word even when upset. So what that means is if your mate promised you a diamond ring when everything is going just fine, and all of a sudden you do something to get your mate upset, no matter how he or she feels, he or she will still buy you that ring. And unconditional love does not give or do something for only wanting something in return. Unconditional love gives just because. Do not want anything in return. Let's examine the second characteristic. In any relationship, selfless is the opposite of selfish. Meaning, when your mate puts your needs and concerns first before anything else. True love leaves no room for selfishness. You can pay close attention to your mate to look out for any conditions such as wanting favors, asking for something all the time, not being equal, and always talking about I, and not using the words me or we is a sign of selfishness. This type of interaction can give you a deeper insight into a person's character and morals. You can observe a selfish person by what they say versus what they do. And a lot of times, these two things do not match, and they will never keep their word. This brings us to our third characteristic. Let's examine the third characteristic, honesty. Most people want a mate that is honest. Honest is greatly valued in a relationship. When you have honesty, that is a high moral character that represents loyalty and trustworthiness. When your mate is honest and do not lie or mislead, you will be able to respect their word and know that they are sincere. True love exists. When you feel it deep down inside your heart, it will reflect patience, selfless, and honesty. Patience in any given situation. And it also allows you to see selfless in your relationship. And you will feel and see trustfulness and sincerity. These are the ingredients that make true love. And if you do not remember anything else from this speech, always remember love is an action word. And then it turns into an emotion. And above all, it always speaks louder than words. I just want to thank everyone for participating and listening to my speech. Thank you again, and you have a great day. Thank you.